Hey, welcome to lesson 1.68. Today's standard lesson, we'll do your review, pause problems, ticket to the show for the video work. We're going to have a 4 blocker, and then you're going to have 1 through 15. You're going to have some independent practice, and then also 3 word problems. Actually, it's 4. I'll do the first one. I'll have you guys do word problems 2 through 4 to get you ready for the quiz. Let's take a look at the review. Some order of operation work here. I'll take and put myself over in the corner here and let you work on these problems for a maximum of 5 minutes. The challenge problem is just exactly what it is. It's a challenge. Alright, let's see how you did here. Okay, so this first couple. First of all, you've got parentheses, so you have to do that first. 4 plus 3 is 7. Okay, then you've got another set of parentheses over here. That's also 7. Then you have to do your exponents, which is 49, and divide by 7. We're back to 7. Next problem. Inside the parentheses, you have an exponent, so you have to do the exponent. So 3 squared is 9. Now you've got 2 sets of parentheses, so I work left to right. So 12 plus 9 is 21. This, of course, is 7. 21 divided by 7 is 3. Keep moving. This one's a long one. I'll go back in the other corner. Up top, you got to deal with the exponent first before multiplication, so that's 16. And then you can do the multiplication, which is 32. Then you can do the bottom, which is addition. You got 32 divided by 4. You've done everything in the top. You've done everything in the bottom. Then you can divide. 32 divided by 4 is 8. Over here, you got some parentheses that you have to do first. So I'm going to work left to right. So this first one is 6. Do that. Just copy everything else down. This next one is going to be 4. So now you've got subtraction, division, and exponents. Got to do the exponents. So 3 squared is 9. You still have to do this. You have to do the division next. I know it's tempted to do 9 minus 3, but 6 divided by 2 is 3, and finally you can do the subtraction. This one is really quite tricky. The secret to this problem is working from the inside out. So you go to the smallest set of parentheses, which is these little ones inside here. And 12 minus 4 is 8. And then you've got inside the parentheses, you still have some addition, and you have multiplication. You have to do the multiplication first. So 3 times 8 is 24. Now you can do the addition inside the parentheses, which is 29. Now this is multiplication. You got multiplication and addition, so you have to do 3 times 29, which is 87, plus 1 is 88. Alright, you are ready for the video. Good luck. I'll see you in the end.
Hey Valley Middle, welcome to another math lesson. Tonight we're going to be evaluating expressions when given a variable. Before we do that, let's start with our just for fun question. It's a picture question tonight. Who are these pictures of? This person is a famous singer. I know every single one of you have heard of her. This person is probably about 40, 45 years old right now. Your parents will probably be able to recognize her, so you can cheat and ask them. All right, I'll give you the answer to that. Give you the answer to the trivia question tonight after the instruction. Officially, our target is I can evaluate an expression when given a value for a variable. Let's do this thing. All right. Can you evaluate this expression? Well, remember, an expression is just a combination of symbols and numbers without an equal sign. But now we're going to give you an equal sign over here. I'm going to tell you what that variable means. So if this is x plus 1 and we're given that x is equal to 2, we just substitute it in. So now we've got 2 plus 1, and we can evaluate that expression. That expression is the same as 3 because x is 2. This one here, 12 minus y. Given y equals 10. Again, we can evaluate that. We can just substitute the 10 in for the y, so we have 12 minus 10. Another way of expressing that expression is just to call it 2, because that's what it is. Let's take a look at our word of the day tonight is variable. Variable is a letter or symbol that stands for something. For example, x plus 3. In this expression, x is a variable. We don't know what it is. But if I give you what it is, then you can evaluate it further. You can simplify it. All right, let's take a look here. Evaluate this one here. Evaluate 2x given x is equal to 2. All right, well, is that 22? That's what I would have thought when I was your age, but you're smarter than I was. Nope. Always substitute the value in a set of parentheses like I have here. So this would be 2 times 2 equals 4. So you have to put it in its own set of parentheses when it's right next to a number like this. So 2 times 2 is 4. It's not 22. That's what little Danny D would have said. All right, how about this one? Y cubed given y equals 4. Going back to that first and second lesson, how do we do that? Let's think about that. Well, I know that y cubed is just y times y times y, so that's 4 times 4 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16. 16 times 4 is 64. Let's try one more, and then I'll give you some to try. Can you evaluate this expression? Y plus 12 minus y, in parentheses, that second expression, given x equals 4 and y equals 8. Now I'm giving you two values. Well, you could do this. Rewrite it and substitute in the values. So here I'll rewrite it. 4 plus 12 minus 8. I just substituted in the 4 for the x, and I substituted the 8 in for the y. All right. Before I can evaluate it, I have to follow the order of operations. So I have to do the parentheses first. 12 minus 8 is 4. I've got 4 plus 4 left. I can evaluate that and say that that expression is equal to 8. All right. Here's some real simple ones I think I'll have you try. First one here. 7a minus b, given that a equals 2, b equals 4. Go ahead and think about that for a minute. Do you remember to put the parentheses around the a because it's right next to that 7? I hope so. All right, let's see how you did. Okay, there we go. The a is 2, so I put it in parentheses right next to it. So I have 7 times 2 minus 4, because that's what b is worth. Have to do the multiplication first. Now I've got 14 minus 4. I can evaluate that expression and say that it's 10. There, I knew you could. How about these ones here? Here's 5 of them, or 4 of them. This one's kind of complicated. Put your own age in here. Don't put my age. If you want to put my age at 30, go ahead and do it. Your parents will get a chuckle out of that. Don't ask, just tell them. Well, let's see how you did on these pause problems. A plus 7, we'll put the a in there. That's going to be 10. 3 plus 7 is 10. This one, 8 minus b. Well, substitute the b in there. 8 minus 5, that's going to be 3. B minus a, 5 minus 3, that's going to be 2. And then this last one here, I'd put in 220 minus your age, which is probably 11 or 12. So you got about 208, 209, something like that. For me, 220 minus 30, that's the way I feel. I look 120, but I feel like I'm 30. All right. Let's take a quick look at the Abbott. What? You can't put variables on the top and the bottom? Yes, I can. Yes, I will. Sorry. Yeah. What's the big deal? Substitute them in. So look at I just recopied that whole problem. There's my parentheses because the x is right next to it. I substituted in. That's just 3 times 10 plus 6. Why is this 12? I mean, so this problem right here, you can solve that. Do everything on the top, do everything on the bottom, and then divide. Well, we got 3 times 10 plus 6. Well, that's 30 plus 6, or 36 on the top. I got nothing to do on the bottom. 36 divided by 12 is 3. There, I knew you could. Little Mr. Rogers. Maybe the little George Bush. I don't know. Who knows? All right. Here we go. Take a look at these problems here. You got just 2 ticket problems. This is one problem up here, one expression. Here's another one. I've got the x and the y. Use these values for these variables for both problems. Then I'll give you the answer to the trivia question. All right, let's see. Who is it? Well, it's one of my favorite singers. Do you recognize her now? Yes, maybe? Britney Spears. She was an incredibly talented 16-year-old, a lot of great hits, and then like most of the kids, the fame gets to them, they get weirded out. She shaved her head. She had problems with all kinds of things. She had problems with life and fame, but still a pretty talented young singer. Hey, I'm back. I'm sure you already all got 3 out of 3 on that little Schoology quiz, but I just wanted to give you this this look at the answers in case somebody couldn't figure something out there. Obviously, you have to do the parentheses first, so it's 4 plus 3 inside, which is 7, and then you have to square it. So you have to square everything inside. It's not 3 squared because the parentheses, the exponent is outside the parentheses. So that's 49. In this case here, 12 plus 3, that's your first step, and that's 15. You just copy down the 2 plus 1. Now you have another set of parentheses. 2 plus 1 is 3. So then you got 15 divided by 3, which is 5. That's real straightforward. This one, a little tricky with the exponent and the division, but just do everything on top. 4 squared is 16 times 2. 16 times 2 is the next step. That's 32. 3 plus 1 is the next step. That's 4. 32 divided by 4 is 8. All right, let's take a look at our target for today. This is where we'll be setting up our page. You had your review, you did your pause problems and ticket to the show up here. We're going to have a 4-blocker. We're going to have some independent practice. The rest of it, I'll just have you follow along and listen to as we go. So 1.6a, evaluate an expression with a variable. We already talked about what the variable was. That's just a letter or symbol. It stands for something. So here's just a few right here. Let me just make these a touch bigger so you can take a look at them. X plus 4. When x is 5, just substitute in the 5. 5 plus 4 is 9. There, we've evaluated it. 3x. Well, the x is worth 5. Again, when you have a variable that's right next to a number like that, just insert it right in a set of parentheses, and it's going to make your life much, much easier. You won't say that that's 35. You'll know that it's 3 times 5, which is 15. And then you've got x cubed, and x is 5. So just put it in. 5 times 5 times 5, and evaluate that out. 5 times 5 is 25 times 5. This one here would be equal to 125. All right. Can you evaluate these expressions when y is 4 and t is 8? Go ahead and take a minute and pause and do those. Well, we can just substitute this in. This would just be 8 times, we put the y in, it would be 4 times 5. So that's going to equal 20. Then we've got y minus 2, y equals 4, so let's just put in 4 minus 2. That's going to equal 2. And the last one, we've got t divided by 4. So again, t is going to be 8. So we're going to put in 8. And then a little shift key action here, get the old division sign. Divided by 4 equals 2. And that's all you do. That's what we're going to be doing today. Substituting those variables in and working our way through. Alrighty then, let's take a look at a 4-blocker. Have you try 4 problems on your own. And again, take and put this right down here in the bottom left-hand corner of your practice sheet for today so I can find it. All right. Oops, sorry. Here we go. Here's your 4-blocker. I'll move my head so you can see the problems. I guess I'm going to have to move myself up here. All right, go ahead and work your way through these. Evaluate them. All right, let's see how you did. Well, x plus 1, that'd be 3 plus 1, that equals 4. I'm going to put myself over here now. Z minus x, well, that's 5 minus 3, and then you have to add 3. Order of operations, 5 minus 3, this would be 2. 2 plus 3 is going to equal 5. Y squared plus 1, y was equal to 4. So 4 squared is 16 plus 1 is 17. And 3z plus 2, again, put that in parentheses. Z was equal to 5. So you have 3 times 5 plus 1 equals 17. When's the last time you had 2 problems in a row that had 17 as a correct answer? That's what I call some out-of-the-box thinking. All right, I'm going to have you do 1 through 15 for some independent practice. I have snapped that out and put it here so that I can make it just a touch bigger for you. And I will put myself someplace where I'm not going to be in your way. Why don't you go ahead and work through those problems? What do I expect for work in your book? I guess I'd like to see the number, and I would like to see you just substitute the variable in. So instead of writing s plus 7, you can just write 2 plus 7. So there, you got 14 of them. I just did one for you. Quit your whining. All right, go ahead and work your way through there. 1 through 15, and pick up the video when you're done. All right, I'm pretty interested in what your work steps look like to see if you actually copied that problem down the way I asked. Some of these down here, these are a little tough. You have to do that in order to get the right answer. I'm not joking you. Here's the answers you should have gotten. Moving across from 1 to 15, you had 9, 8, 22. 21, 5, and 6, 70, 9, and 0, 3, 80, 33, and then down here we had 1, 6, and 2. Alrighty, yeah, kind of difficult. Some of those are a little bit difficult. I think the ones that you'll be quizzing on are probably within the first 13. I don't think I won't put a variable in the denominator. This technically would be considered a 7th grade problem with a variable in the denominator, and I'm not going to put anything as complicated as 15 in there. But up here, did you remember to put the u, substitute the value in, put it in parentheses? Otherwise, if you didn't, you might have said that's 31. Just get in that habit of putting those in parentheses. All right, before we take leave today, just a couple of things will work for a few minutes. If you've got a few minutes left in our lesson here, let's just take a look at some word problems and see how this looks in more of a testing type of situation. They're always going to give you a word problem. So here's one right here I'll do for you. 7th grade math classes are going on a field trip. The cost of the field trip will be $7 per student. Write an expression to find the cost of the field trip for S students. What is the total cost if 26 students go on the trip? So I used the wrong variable here. 7S would be the expression. And then if S is equal to 26 students, that's just 7 times 26. And let me grab my calculator and finish that out for you. 7 times 26 would give me 182 would be the answer if we evaluated that there. Okay, so take a look at questions 2, 3, 4. Let me give you a good look at 2. Actually, I'll put my face up here so you can take a look at 2, 3, and 4. See if you can do those ones there. Move it over. All right, let's take a look at your answers. Well, the expression here would have been 2n, and n is 6 games, then it's 120 when you evaluate it. This one here, a lot of kids think is really super hard, but they gave you the expression C minus E. The money collected minus the expenses. Collected money, expenses. Collected money is $500, expenses $150. You got $350 you made for a profit. Not bad. I've been losing at the racetrack. Maybe I should do that. All right, this last one about kata. Your expression would have been 5x plus 230. Well, you find out how much money she will have in her account after 1 year. Well, if x is the number of months, that's going to be 5 times 12 because there's 12 months in a year. 5 12s are 60, and that's where you get the 60 plus 230 is the 290 degrees. All right, that's it for today. Well, that's a wrap for that lesson today. So you are ready to take the quiz 1.6a. Be careful. Make sure you read the questions. Good luck.